I was out working and I get a request from a person named Braden from my address.
You want to kick indoors like Biggie? That's weird.
I find out my daughter's on the phone with 911. They convicted me of disorderly conduct, domestic violence, and failure to identify. I should have the right to do anything necessary if I think someone is in my house that should not be there. And if you think any different, then you're a pussy.
If you wanted us to listen to you and empathize with you, even the way you're talking is like combative with us. Y'all tell me if this story makes any sense to you. I've listened to this story and I really was like listening closely, and I was like, I don't know, man. There's a lot missing here. A lot missing. And my thing is, generally speaking, if a child says that somebody did something, I usually believe the child. Very rarely do I take the side of the adult. Very, very rarely. And it doesn't mean that it doesn't happen. It's just rare. Just very rare. Especially like the older the child is, like teenager age, tween age or whatever. I typically believe it because, like little kids, sometimes they just be saying shit. They be misremembering stuff, dates and times and who did what. And you know what I mean? Like, okay, cool. Maybe like a 5-year-old, depending on what they're saying, I may be like, maybe, whatever. But even then, they got it, it's usually like, has to have like certain context. But just generally speaking, I believe kids. I believe women. I believe kids. I believe survivors, men and women, kids, whatever. So listening to this man tell this story, like, I'm like very confused by this. Like, I want to hear the daughter side, but yeah, this didn't make any sense to me.
All right, so bear with me because I've been holding this in for a while. Basically, the last 5 years, I've been working Uber as a single dad. And on Friday, June 13th, 2025, I was out working and I get a request from a person named Braden from my address. Now, about a couple weeks prior to this, I found out that my daughter has a boyfriend named Braden. So naturally, I think this boy is at my house, and I rush home, get home, go into my daughter's room. She's holding the lock on the door, and I start pounding on the door, calling for the boy to come out. Mind you, at this point, I'm ready to kick in the fucking door. She finally decides to come out. I'm looking through the room, through the closet and everywhere else. He's not there, thankfully, right? So
Wait, right off the bat, why? He's 15 years old. I mean, they're not adults, but she's consenting, it sounds like. You're not saving her from him. She's not some damsel in distress. She's a child. He's a child. So what were you gonna do to a 15-year-old boy? Last time I checked, these are still children, right? I just want to make sure. You can say 50-year-old man. You can say 25-year-old man. You can say 20-year-old boy. You said a 15-year-old boy and a 15-year-old girl. You coming in kicking, you want to kick indoors like Biggie? That's weird.
Have her call the boy, get him on the phone, and then I tell him to put his parents on the phone. Talked to his dad, asked him had he been there the whole time. He said, yeah. I let him know that he is not allowed at my house. So after that, I go into the garage, I call my ex-wife and let her know that our daughter was planning on getting in an Uber without permission to go to this boy's house. And mind you, my ex-wife, that's just that's just a different story I'm not going to get into right now. I hung up with.
That's fair. That part is fair. If you guys have discussed that, you told her she can't take Uber, you know what I mean? Like whatever it is, that's fair. And I feel like that's a fair rule to have. Like I don't want my 15-year-old in an Uber. Just generally speaking, I don't want my 15-year-old in an Uber. I don't want my child in a car with an adult that I don't know. It's just me, right? You catch the bus, you catch the train, not an Uber, not an Uber. Maybe even a taxi. I might even slide you a taxi. Ubers are just so unregulated that I don't, you know what I mean? Like when I was young, we took taxis every now and again. We took a taxi as a teenager because we didn't have the money for the most part. But taxis are safer than Ubers. In general, taxis are safer than Uber. So I'm not, maybe I could tolerate a taxi, but an Uber, a ride share, no, absolutely not. So I'm with them on that part. I'll give them that.
With her, and I find out my daughter's on the phone with 911. Now, mind you, I love my daughter very much. I'm not talking about the shallow love that most people think of as like a feeling. I love my daughter. Love is a verb. It is an action. If my daughter's safety is in jeopardy, I'm going to take any action necessary to protect her.
How was her safety in jeopardy? Was it the Uber part that was in jeopardy, or was it the little boy? Like who? What was exactly the part? What were you protecting your daughter from at this point? Would be the question.
So I go in the room. She's on the phone with 911. Then her mama calls me. I sitting there asking her, like, because her mom's saying like she's on the way and shit. So I'm like, cool, whatever. She can go stay with her mom, right? Because I'm fucking heated at this point. Then police show up. I'm at the door explaining to the police what happened, right? So this punk ass fucking cop, which, mind you, I don't want no fucking help from the police. I don't need no fucking help from the police. I've been assaulted. I've been robbed. And I've never fucking received any help from any fucking police ever. So I don't want your fucking help. I don't need your help.
She wanted their help though. Just FYI, she called the police. So she didn't call to help you. She called to help herself. Now, if she was saying this, then I would be like, okay, but you're saying it's coming across as like you're not taking accountability at this point.
So we go on with the story. He's a little bit tense because he's a pussy. And yeah, just because, I'm showing him up and he's scared, they reach into my house. Mind you, I'm still in the doorway. I didn't come outside or anything because I already know where this shit is going. And they reach into my house, place me under arrest, and it goes on. They took me in and shit, had me in the back of the police car, fucking with no air conditioner, sweating my ass off back there. We're in Arizona, mind you. And these fucking punk ass motherfuckers has got me back there, sweating my ass off. Get to the fucking police station. They got me on the bench, booking me in, taking hella long, don't offer me no water, check on me, no type of shit. So then I go to court. At the bench trial, they played the 911 recording for my daughter, which in the beginning of the call, she says, I know I'm not supposed to be calling the emergency number if it's not an emergency. And the judge is asking her questions like, did your dad harm you? She said no. Did your dad threaten to harm you? No. And they played the body cam footage from the officer, which they only play a 30-second clip towards the end, after I had already explained the situation, was, as cordial as I could be with him at first. And yeah, the judge, I thought was going to dismiss it, but they convicted me of disorderly conduct, domestic violence, and failure to identify. I'm appealing it right now because at the end of the day, I should have the right to do anything necessary If I think someone is in my house, that should not be there. And if you think any different, then you're a pussy.
Yeah. Um, Clearly, I mean, the way that y'all be like really proof, like if you wanted us to listen to you and empathize with you, even the way you're talking is like combative with us. Like what he just said, oh, you're a pussy if you these pussy ass, you're very aggressive, even in you explaining the story. But you're not taking any accountability. You didn't do anything wrong. There was nothing you could have done any better. There was nothing you could have done. You already said you barged in on your 15-year-old daughter. You scared her. That's why she called the police. You know, you're it sounds like you're still blaming her for the situation. And you're saying that, oh, I'm gonna your thing is it sounds like you're controlling to me. And it sounds like you think your daughter is your property because you're talking about my house. No, it's y'all house. This isn't my house. This is my wife's house. This is my child's house. This is my other child's house. Hell, this is even my dog's house. You know what I'm saying? I literally take into account what my dog, like when I even, like, this is what I'm saying. There are certain things when you cook them, they can like irritate your dog. You know, dogs have sensitive noses. So like when the house is smoky and stuff like that, I'm like, oh, I don't want to cook that shit. My dog might get a little irritated and agitated. When I bought my house, I was like, oh, my dog will love this backyard. Not this, don't get me wrong. I get it, but I understand what I'm saying. I'm not saying like I bought my house because I thought it would make my dog happy, but I considered even my dog's feelings in buying the home because I paid for my dog. That's my dog. My dog is here. He's in my home because of me and my wife and my children. So I owe him the respect that I take him into consideration when I do stuff in my home that I think may affect him. Let alone a fucking child. It is my kid's house too. It's my child's house too. So you're like, oh, I'll do whatever I got to do to get somebody out my home that shouldn't be in there. Says who? Who shouldn't? If your daughter invites a boy in, he can legally be in your home. That's what I want you to understand. Legally, your daughter is a resident of that home. If a resident of that home, we all seen the movie Sinners, right? Remember how the devils was like, hey, the vampire was like, invite me in. You needed to invite. That's essentially what it is. It didn't matter who invited them in, as long as they were inside and they were alive. And they were, a human, and they invited them in. The devils could come in. And I'm not calling this boy a devil, but I'm just saying it is the same thing. If somebody invites you in their home, if a 15-year-old child invites a 15-year-old child in the home, yeah, they can legally be there. You can't come in and beat them up. You can't come in and have them trespass. What the fuck are you talking about? That is a discussion for you to take up with your daughter, not the 15-year-old boy. I'm not talking to a 15-year-old boy without their parents present, like the way that he said he talked to the dad, but he went over there, he fully expected to confront a 15-year-old child. No way. Absolutely not. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. Absolutely not. That is your daughter's responsibility. If you don't want your daughter doing something, talk to your fucking daughter. And when you talk to your daughter, do not kick her fucking door in. Do not make her feel unsafe. Do not escalate the situation with the 15-year-old child. De-escalate it. De-escalate it. Your 15-year-old daughter's vagina is not yours. It's still her body, bro. So if she wants, I'm just going worst case scenario. So if she wants to sleep with a 15-year-old boy, oh fucking well. You parents that think like this, you are the pits. You're not helpful. You're not helpful. The way you do it is you explain to your 15-year-old child, hopefully well before they're 15, Their body is important. Their body is important to protect. It's the only body they'll ever have. Blah, 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 blah. Respect themselves, respect their emotions, talk about the dangers and the threats of sex, talk about the good things that can come from sex too. Don't just talk about the bad, talk about both, right? Give them all the information they need, teach them how important it is to protect themselves, give them protection, constantly remind them, update them, keep an open line of discussion, an open line of communication, and let them be fucking free. Whatever they do after that ain't got nothing to do with you. Believe it or not. Believe it or not. I don't know what type of parents people are, but that as a child that grew up in that type of environment, and as a millennial that grew up a latchkey kid or whatever the case may be, I remember when I was growing up and I was 12 years old and I had just started smoking weed. And I told my mama pretty much within the first month of me smoking weed that I smoke weed. And you know what my mama said? Why are you smoking that? she didn't say, she didn't say, she didn't say why are you doing drugs at 12 years old, son? What's going on? Do you need help? Do you need support? Do you No, it was, why are you smoking that? Don't be smoking them weeds. And then you know what she did after that? She made it like she wouldn't let me smoke it in the house, which forced me to smoke it outside. Listen to what I'm saying. I was going to smoke it at that point. She wasn't doing anything to help me not smoke it. Right. She wasn't giving me the support I needed. My dad wasn't there. So, he a piece of shit. Right. So I wasn't getting any support dealing with this. Like, why is a 12-year-old doing drugs? Pretty much, right? My mom didn't know how to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? She had her own stuff going on. She was working, she was going through her own thing, but this is just the reality of what happened. And she never, she made it harder on me to, she made it unsafer for me to do a thing that I was already doing. She didn't actually try to help me not do it. She just made it more unsafe for me to do it. You see what I'm saying? So because she wouldn't let me smoke it in the house. That was her thing. Like, I had to hide it from her, even though I smoked it from 12 to 16, pretty much every day. And she knew it. It wasn't like she didn't. I smell like weed all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would come in high. She'd be like, you high again, huh? Right? So what the fuck? If you gonna do that, if I've said this a million times, that to me, that's it's not a good approach. It's not a good approach. That's all I'm saying. What's going on? Why? What? Blah, 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 blah. If you're gonna smoke it in the house. I don't want you smoking outside. I don't want you smoking and getting arrested by the police, getting chased by the police. That's just gonna make the situation worse. Because it wasn't gonna stop me from smoking. You see what I'm saying? That's lazy parenting, man. Y'all gotta stop this shit, man. You gotta, man, whoever, if you doing this type of shit, that's not how you parent. That's bad parenting. I can speak on it as a child and I can speak on it as a parent. That's not gonna do anything. You're just gonna, now that little girl ain't gonna tell you shit. Now you ain't gonna know nothing. Now she going 0 dark 30 on you. Incognito. That's where you want to be. You want to be on the outside or you want to be on the inside? I want to be in the inner circle of trust. You know what I'm saying? Like the Fockers. I want to be on the inner circle of the Fockers. You dig? I don't want to be on the outside of that. Absolutely not. That's just my little tidbit of advice for my parents out there. If you ever wanted to hear it. No, y'all didn't ask for it, but there it goes. But there's so much more to this story he's leaving out. I'm 100% sure. And he's not taking any accountability. And so it's not shocking to see that he got convicted of this crime. And it sounds like his daughter's not with him anymore. So there's that.